Welcome back to Never Watch Alone, where you'll never have to watch a movie alone again. I am your host, Tim Lightfight, and joining me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Sean Wheeler. What's up, man?
Oh, I'm having a great day. I'm pretty
dude.
excited to get into this. This is
Yeah.
a lesser-known, I feel, mob movie that doesn't get enough love. So I'm always happy to spread the word of it.
Yeah, man. Cause I hadn't even heard of this movie because when you mentioned the cast, oh yeah, Tim Roth, Laurence Fishburne, all these, oh shit. Well, so I'm fucking in, and because I hadn't heard of this movie literally until you suggested it for the show. So I thought, well, fuck, I'll watch something new. I'll watch something more interesting for this. Let's go and do it. And if you guys want to just skip ahead on us talking about this movie, as always, there is a sync button below where you can skip ahead and go right into the commentary. But that said, 1997 Hoodlum, directed by Bill Duke. Bill fucking Duke, dude. The man from Predator and Commando and all those weird, obscure roles in the last couple of years. Like Mandy and X-Men 3. Well, we probably want to forget about X-Men 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I was really surprised that because I know he directed a few things of television, but I actually did not know that he did, movies too. After watching this, I figured out, he did a whole bunch of others too. But yeah, man. So I know so this was suggested by you for this show, and I only heard about it recently, so I just watched it. And yeah, I dug it. I mean, I was kind of about a quarter of the way through, I was expecting it was kind of the Untouchables thing where, yeah, it's grossly inaccurate, but the entertainment value is so high you don't care. And when I was over, I'm like, well, it's not as entertaining as the Untouchables, but I still had a good time. So yeah,
and you brought that up, and while I would agree it's not as entertaining as the Untouchables, I think largely that's because I think writing wise it's probably on par. It just doesn't have that amazing score the Untouchables has.
That, and I don't think that some of the performances are really as comically overblown as to make them memorable as they could be.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, to be fair, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to address the elephant in the room, which is everybody always thought since the start, since the Untouchables introduced him, it's like Andy Garcia is gonna have a great career. Oh boy.
Yeah.
He is not a bad actor, but he is very much a character actor. And you know what? I like him here. He's, as a character actor, he does a great job here in this movie. But I also think this is, still in that period where they're like, can we find the right vehicle for him? And it's like, I don't know that there is one.
And also, I think we can probably agree that even though it's not as great or anything, but I think he was kind of like the MVP of Godfather Part 3.
I can't speak intelligently to that.
Oh, really? Because
everyone told me nothing but negative things about Part 3. So even though I own it, I literally have it sitting in a box to my left. I've never bothered to watch it.
I have watched. I've watched it once.
Now I am interested in seeing this redone version with Coppola getting his hands on it and being able to do the cut he wanted. That I'm now interested in.
Yes.
But okay, regardless,
yes.
I picked this movie because one, mob is so much more than Italian mobsters. We started with Irish. We have tried.
We touched on the Cubano
right.
Latino kind of thing going on.
A big part of what we wanted to show is like there's great mob movies out there, and not all of them are, Italian mob. Now,
or Russian even.
Right. The Italian mob, is prolific, and, you're going to see a lot of that. This movie's highly fictionalized, but it does have some historical basis going on. But yeah, you can't say that the mob in Harlem didn't push just as hard to do what they, to take their slice.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And that's kind of what I like. The the mob stories really are American dream stories gone dark.
Yeah, that's totally what they are, man.
And I appreciate those stories, and I love it. And I mean, Fishburne here is just great. I mean, from the first time I saw this movie, I was just like, why do more people not know about this movie and don't love this movie? It's so good.
You know, I think the part of the reason why is because I was actually reading Roger Ebert's review, because as you know, I'm a big fan of Roger Ebert and reading his stuff. But I remember I actually looked up his review, and it turns out this movie was marketed as like an action gangster movie. It really isn't. It's like, it's more of a character study thriller. You know, there are some like really great action sequences in there, and there's some really awesome like scenes of bloodshed, gun violence, and all that stuff. All the fun stuff.
Right.
But they marketed it up too wrong,
see,
and that's
right.
why.
And that's just it. Like, this movie came out when I was like, gosh, roughly 15.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't end up.
Did you see it in theaters?
No. I didn't end up seeing it until a couple years later. So I had no knowledge of the marketing or anything. I just saw this. I already love mob movies. Like,
right.
I've been a big fan of mob movies since I was fairly young. So it's like, I see this, I'm just like, yeah!
Yeah, man. Old Laurence Fishburne, Mr. Morpheus himself. You know, that's actually one of the things I say. Anytime Laurence Fishburne shows up, I have this weird urge, and you can hear it on my John Wick 2 commentary. Anytime he comes on, or the first time he comes on screen, I'm always like, Morpheus, Morpheus, Morpheus.
See, and again, I think this probably, you know, establishes, you know, the age differential between us. That was probably your introduction to Laurence Fishburne.
Oh, it totally was, and that was 99.
Yeah.
This was 2 years after.
Yeah, I had seen him in plenty of established, you know, cinema roles before seeing him in that. Now, I loved him. I mean, Morpheus was a redefining moment in his career, no doubt.
Oh, dude, totally.
But
that's what launched him into superstardom.
Yeah, but it's like I'd seen him in, you know, so many other movies prior to this. And so for me, it was just like, well, okay, yeah, like that obviously has a high association with me, but it's like, come on, Boys in the Hood?
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I mean, I like by this point, I'd seen Boys in the Hood. I loved Boys in the Hood. It's like,
let's also not forget where he got his start by lying about his age to be in Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now. That was kind of badass.
Right. But like, I mean, I'd seen that, but I didn't have an awareness that was really him at that point. But like, other movies
he looks completely unrecognizable back then.
But like other movies I saw before The Matrix, I did end up seeing Hoodlum after The Matrix, but like I saw Event Horizon before I saw The Matrix.
Oh my god, yeah.
Being a literary nut, I saw Othello.
Oh my god,
I saw The Matrix.
Played Othello? I didn't know he played Othello.
And Kenneth Branagh's film adaptation, which is wonderful, with Branagh as Iago.
What?
Wait, is it Iago? Is that the right
man,
movie?
you might have to check that up, man. You might have to IMDb
now,
that.
I'm going to, because now it's bothering me. I think that's the name. Look, it's been a long time since I've delved back into my Shakespeare shit, all right? Like, I love Shakespeare, but I haven't revisited it in quite some time, so,
Oh, man, when
Yes, it was Iago. And, like...
Okay.
So, basically, almost all of Kenneth Branagh's Shakespeare adaptations, with the exception of the Henry movies, I love. So, it's like, if it's Kenneth Branagh and it's Shakespeare, it's like, I'm there.
Kenneth Branagh has he has earned the right to be called Mr. Shakespeare in Hollywood.
Yeah, and I mean, so a couple of my favorites. I mean, okay, Hamlet is wonderful, but that's going to take you all day, and it's going to tire you out. But like, if I'm just looking,
there's a reason why I haven't sat down and watched that one yet, man. Because there are times where I look at like movies like Gettysburg and Hamlet, and I'm looking, I'm like, look, I know these are going to be masterpieces, and I know they're going to be an amazing time. I just don't have time to sit down for 4 hours.
But like, if I need a quick Shakespeare fix, I am going to go to Much Ado About Nothing or Othello.
Yeah.
Like, those two are just... Yeah. So for me, I had this love of Laurence Fishburne already established. I see The Matrix. I love that. A year or two later, I finally see Hoodlum, and I'm like, how did I not know about this movie?
So when did you actually see Hoodlum for the first time?
I know I saw it sometime when I was in college. I know it was post high school, so probably sometime in. I mean, it came out in '97. I probably didn't see it until maybe 2002, so about 5 years later.
Okay, so did you see it in like a class, or was it on your own, or did you see it with like,
just
a couple
on
of
my
friends?
own? I just came across it one day.
Right on.
And I
Right
was
on.
like, oh, okay, cool, because early days of the internet, stuff's still out there. I'm trying to be like, hey, I'm looking for a mob movie. Oh, I haven't heard of this one. Let's go.
Yeah, I feel it, man. That's how you get it done. And so speaking of what, you wanted to get started on this bad boy because we got a really fun. Let's got a fun ride. Okay, so and once again, I got to find out where the hell if this thing is streaming. I don't know if it is anywhere. Wait, for real? Hold on a second.
What?
Oh my lord. Oh wait, no, you can't. That is so strange.
What's up?
You can find Hoodlum on YouTube for free, but it is a 90-minute cut, and we are watching a 2-hour and 10 cut.
Wow, that's bizarre.
Okay, wait, no, hang on a second, because I thought I did my research for this movie.
Maybe it's not the same Hoodlum?
No, it totally is. I'm looking at it right now, and it's like, that is weird. Okay. Well, anyway, you can still find it on Amazon Prime with a premium subscription. You can find it on a whole bunch of other places, and if you got a Blu-ray copy, just pop it in because get ready because we are going to get this bad boy started in 3, 2, 1, click. Right away. MGM logo. And probably my most missed production company of all time. Not MGM, mind you, but these guys. United Artists.
Yep.
Man, I dream of a day as a aspiring filmmaker. I dream of a day for a company like United Artists again. Because United Artists, for those of you who don't know, it was all about like, look, you pitch us the movie, we'll give you a budget, and you get down on your knees and you pray not to go over budget, and we will leave you alone to make the movie. That never happens anymore.
Yeah.
I do like this opening bit. Like, the CG hasn't aged well, but I actually kind of think that's kind of dope.
Yeah.
And especially this little opening here with the, a world impoverished by the Great Depression.
Uh-huh.
We got a legal lottery racket known as Numbers. I was actually watching this because my fiance, she's all about like true crime and film noir and 1920s culture, and I was watching this opening for like this scroll for the first time. I'm like, hey hon, you actually want to watch this with me? And she's like, okay, this is really interesting, but I think I'll catch it for you next time. Which I'm like, okay, right on. And then Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson, which. By the way, did you know how he got that nickname?
I don't.
He actually got it because he was in and out of trouble in his youth and whatnot, and they attributed that that nickname because he had a distinctive bump on the back of his head.
Ah.
Probably from some injury. I never really could figure out where it was. Might have been just like a birth defect. Maybe it was from an injury. I don't know. But he has a distinctive bump in the back of his head, so that's why they call him Bumpy. And you know what's also more interesting? I'm going to give a little shout-out. So you guys can't see it listening at home, but I recently got myself a haircut. And one of the places that I like going to is this place around the corner from where I live. It is a black-owned barbershop called Uncle Bumpy's.
Ah.
And I'm curious, because now next time I go in for another haircut, I want to ask him, hey, man, did you, name your shop after this guy? Because that's kind of hardcore, man. Like, that's right on. Like, or maybe just, Bumpy's is like a semi-average nickname out there. I don't know, but it'd be kind of cool if it was. And right here we got our little bit of a Shawshank moment. where he's like, oh, just getting on out. And I also read that now it wasn't in like the 30s, but this is like much later in his life.
Go on.
He actually was arrested again, like in the 60s, and in 65, he and a whole bunch of other black prisoners were protesting through some of the civil rights movements, and he actually got charged for not leaving the police station because he was about to be discharged.
Yeah,
and he
was
refused to leave.
Yep.
So he refused to leave on the basis on a protest of civil rights basis, and he was actually acquitted by a judge later, which was kind of awesome. So that's kind of hardcore.
So
right away, yeah.
I should note this movie, while set in New York, was actually mostly filmed in Chicago because Chicago still has the look of, in some areas, of how Harlem looked during this age of.
Well, man, Chicago is roughly unchanged from the the 1930s looks, because a lot of those historical buildings are protected by historical protection laws, and therefore they maintain those looks. So. Yeah, man, I could see why. Because New York,
I love the character performance of this Undertaker.
Oh yeah, dude! Like the guy who makes all the coffins, man. He is one happy customer in this movie. I tell you what. And I also really love the production design, man. Just there's something about these mafia. Oh hell no. And Harlem was actually a really nice place to live in, at like right around in the early 20s and late 1910s. Not in the post-Depression era, man, though. Yeah, Dutch Schultz moving in on the Harlem Rackets.
Trying to.
Yeah. He's trying to. Although I really love how, both in this movie and historically, Lucky Luciano, the man who needs no introduction in the mafia underworld, I love how he's just kind of kicking back and seeing, like, I'm going to see who wins on this shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, I mean, he had already established the modern mob at this point. He established the council. He organized the modern mob.
He is pretty much the OG Godfather.
Yeah. So he doesn't. Oh, by the way, while Luciano did have a dog named Bambi, it was later in his life and named after the movie, which had not come out yet.
Yeah, that was. I think he didn't get that dog until like after World War II.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we got the almighty, I'm blanking on his name. Andy Garcia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really glad now that, because I know that for literally half a century, starting with the Great Depression, going like well into the 80s, honestly, Harlem was just an awful, awful part of New York City to not just to live in, but to work or just even walk through. Although now I hear in like from the 90s and onward, it's actually a really nice place to walk around in New York. At least that's what I've been told. I've only been Midtown in New York City from where I've been. You ever been to New York, Sean?
I have. But I have not been up to Harlem. I've been down through the Bowery and the Alphabets and such, but I have not been all the way up to Harlem.
Yeah, the most northern I ever got was Strawberry Fields in Central Park.
Yeah, I mean, I've been out that way. My cousin lived maybe 10, 12 blocks south of Harlem, and we really didn't end up going. So it was a very short visit. I was only there for like 3 days, so
Gotcha.
didn't get up north.
Gotcha. Still, I hear that especially places like, you know, the historic Apollo Theater is a great place to visit up there. Well, yeah, here we go. Man, okay, Tim Roth. I don't hate his performance in the slightest. I think it's wonderful. It's a wonderfully slimy performance that needs to be the main antagonist of this kind of movie. I just don't wish it was a lot more memorable. Because look, like I will make a lot of comparisons to this movie and The Untouchables, just because like I said, they are grossly inaccurate mob movies that are still a lot of fun. But the thing is,
love. But I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt. Chi McBride in this role. He is so great.
Chi McBride is actually probably my favorite performance in this movie. I actually really love this interaction between these two. She is just a thirsty woman.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I actually love the dialogue in these movies and how it utilizes the old 30s and 40s lingo. Like, this shit's the killer dilla, you know? Oh, shit. That smug-ass look on his face, man. You knocking on the door like a motherfucking cop? Like, damn, man, you almost made me piss myself. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. You see that bruise on his face?
Yep. Bigfoot.
So I actually read up on her character, Pigfoot Mary, also known as Lillian Harris Dean. She was a real woman, but for the record, like, this is I have been talking about how this movie is grossly inaccurate. Her role in this movie is probably one of the most ridiculously off history's radar. Although she did give herself the name Pigfoot Mary, because when I actually was watching this and I heard, Pigfoot this, Pigfoot, I'm like, what dickhead bully gave her that? Because that is an awful, awful name to give someone. But it turns out she got her name literally doing marketing traditional foods like pig's feet, hog maws, and chitlins and other foods, and she literally was carting it around in a disused baby basket and turned it into a thriving business when she immigrated in like the late 1800s. Because that's the other thing. She died in 1929, which is actually years before this, but she was almost 60. So yeah, y'all should check it out, man. There's like some really interesting things to be told about Pigfoot Mary. And you know what? I'm gonna put a link in the description for y'all guys to read up more about her, because she's actually kind of a fascinating little African American character and minor celebrity back then. So worth reading into. Although, out of all the things in this movie that aren't inaccurate, it really is kind of Tim Roth as Dutch.
Why do you say that?
Because he was kind of a ruthless son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day. And while... And, we'll get there when we get to it. Like, he would do shit like this.
Oh, yeah.
He was known for it.
Dutch was nuts, and that's honestly why he got himself killed.
Yeah, for real. And his death in this movie, while it is, like, poetically exaggerated, it's surprisingly not as far as you would think from what it was.
Well, I mean, they
truth.
got the location right, but, you know, they didn't have the Murder, Inc. hit squad.
Yeah. Damn, look at the size of that
also,
cigar.
This
dude.
is super inaccurate because that prosecutor was untouchable.
Oh, yeah, dude. He really was like, that was Thomas Dewey.
And he was not in bed with mobsters. He took them all down.
Oh yeah, dude. Like as a matter of, he was actually the guy who successfully prosecuted Lucky Luciano.
Yeah, and Murder Inc. Murder Inc. For those who don't know, was the hit squad Luciano and Meyer Lansky used to keep in charge of the mob and enforce everything for years and for over a decade. So
I really want to know what it was to possess them to turn this historically memorable. Because look, for those of you who don't know, Thomas Dewey was a guy who is known for his honesty and for his opportunism in politics, to the point where he actually ran against FDR twice for the position of U.S. president.
Yeah.
So he against Truman.
Oh yeah, he did go against Truman. Because there's that very famous newspaper that inaccurately had the Dewey defeats Truman.
That's right. Oh, okay. So it was Dewey. Okay, yeah. I forgot the actual name of the headline. But yeah, that was him. Like, he was squeaky clean enough to, because this was back in the day when when you had to have like a fairly good reputation to be president, not like recent times.
So, what I love about this is a man who just got out of jail after spending 10 years, and everyone still knows him.
Oh yeah, man. That's what
a great way to establish the character, though. It's just like, oh,
that's
crap, he's back,
cred.
but like, yeah.
That's as someone like someone like one of these famous rappers like Snoop Dogg would say, that's gangster. Oh, and of course we gotta have a fucking Whispers,
right?
Always a goddamn Whispers in these movies. Hell, in The Irishman with Martin Scorsese, they make fun of that. He's like, oh yeah, I gotta meet up with Whispers. No, the other Whispers. There's always like 3 different Whispers. But I think this is probably, out of all the Whispers I've seen in mob movies, he actually just became my favorite one, because it is so hardcore seeing this guy who's clearly got his throat slit and survived. Like, that is hardcore. Like, this guy was clearly supposed to get his throat slit and bleed out to die. Only he's like, nah, man, I'm going to be sticking it up, and I'm going to be continuing the fight. And now he speaks in that rasp. And, of course, probably my favorite, the one character where I'm like, why hasn't this woman gotten her own movie?
Right.
St. Clair, the Madam Queen herself, Stephanie St. Clair. And, so I was, after watching this movie, I wanted to read up more about all these characters and whatnot. And reading up on her history, I'm amazed that no one's made a movie out of her life story.
Yeah.
Like, dude, because this woman, she immigrated from the West Indies, is of French and African descent, started as a prostitute, and then took over her. She was going to be. She was tried to get in, or her boyfriend at the time tried to push her into prostitution. But after he died, she basically took over his racket and became the Queen of Harlem, essentially.
Yep.
Like, it's kind of amazing. Like, how cool would a movie be nowadays to have a 1920s into the 30s female-led mobster movie, and it's with an all-black cast.
Oh, I'd be about it. I'd be all about it.
That would be an amazing movie. Holy shit. Who would you cast in that role, actually? I'm curious. Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
you got nothing.
Like, I mean, like who? I mean, it sounds perfect, but someone's got to write it.
Well, I'm just like, who would you cast in St. Clair's role, though? Who'd you
Oh
cast as
gosh,
St. Clair?
Oof.
Yeah, I know, right? It's hard. It's really hard because you.
Sorry, that line.
Oh, I know, right? I love seriously the chemistry between these two are great.
Let me find her name. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know who I'm thinking of.
All right. Oh, Miss Francine, the big old love interest of the movie.
So honestly,
yeah.
I think that maybe I may mispronounce this. Danaya Gurira, who played Okoye in Black Panther.
Oh,
I think she would. I think she would kill it.
Actually, yeah.
Also,
yeah.
I have complete faith, and also from Black Panther, I have nothing but complete faith in Lupita Nyong'o's acting talent.
Yeah.
So either of them, I think, could knock it out of the park.
Lupita is one hell of an actress, man.
Yeah.
Well, either way, honestly, even if she doesn't land either one of them land the supporting role, they would still be welcome. I would welcome them on fully as supporting roles. You know. You know, I kind of wish that they used that moment right there as like an opportunity to be like to actually explain the bump on the back of his head. It's just a minor little thing. There's a lot of minor little things in this movie. I'm like, I kind of wish they did this and made it a little bit better. Although some of the choices, like I'll mention them as we go along, but some of the cinematography and the directing choices, I'm like, wow, you really want to get artsy with this. Like, good for you, man. Although this is one of my, I thought this was really great when old Bumpy here is fixing up the electricity, trying to get the apartment back up online. I do love the lighting though on Illinois, and then all the damn cockroaches like stepping on cornflakes. And I do love how they just shake that shit off, because that's how it was back in the day, wasn't it? Hey, but you know what? I will say this. At least it's not rats. Because in New York, rats are a real big thing. But this. That.
Now, I'm fairly certain that's a 38.
Yeah.
I don't know guns like a gunhound, but I'm also not ignorant of them either.
Now, this edit choice, again, this is where I'm like, ooh, you're getting artsy. Right on. Where they just kind of repeat the shot. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not sure how that's motivated or anything, but I like it. And we got more negotiations between Mr. Dewey, with Dutch.
Oh, you're a white man in Harlem. You are definitely the devil here.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, actually, I do like her rebuttal. He's like, "I'm not the devil, but you do the devil's work." Yeah. I'm like, that's good shit, man. But again, I really wish Tim Roth kind of, in a weird way, was allowed to step it up a little bit more, and it was just a little bit better written, because upon like just reflecting, maybe it'll pick up on more time, but Tim Roth's his way he plays Dutch is not nearly as memorable as Robert De Niro playing Al Capone, Because at least Al Capone had those moments like, he's like, I want you to get this fuck where he breathes. I want you to find this Nancy Boy Elliott Ness. I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burned to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on the ashes. That kind of shit is memorable. And I really wish that, Tim Roth got an opportunity to be more memorable in that sense. Although he is having fun. And I look like that shit-eating grin. I like that a lot. I don't know. There's just something about it that I really wish that they punched up a little bit. Oh, shit.
Yeah, you know what?
What's up?
I wouldn't have been messing with the guy with the shotgun.
Yeah, and as you can see here, he's got a real itchy trigger finger.
Yep.
Shit, son. And that's another thing I kind of wish that they went a little bit more into in the detailing, because you remember in movies like Casino, or even like into some degree of Wolf of Wall Street, or just about any Scorsese movie, there's usually a montage. I love this music number actually, but they usually have like a montage or a scene or two that explains the inner workings of their business.
Yeah.
And I really, really wish that they'd done it, because throughout this entire movie, I mean, I kind of knew the whole numbers racket, but I didn't understand like the intricacies or how it worked or any insight to that sort of thing. Like, I didn't understand any of the details.
Gotcha.
I mean, I understood the character motivations and everything. Like, that's great. But I really wish that, every once in a while you could have Laurence Fishburne narrate just how the money worked and whatnot.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that also might have helped me out a little bit, because then it contextualizes not just how they feel, but why they're doing what they're doing specifically.
For sure.
That's I guess that's just me. Look at that ugly ass straw hat. I'm glad those things went out of style. Oh, now this shit right here, where he's like, "Yes, you do want to dance," and she looks at Lorraine, and she's like, "Oh yeah, right. I totally want to dance." I love this performance here, where
Vanessa Williams, solid.
Yeah,
solid.
Well, I really wish that they kind of played this whole scene in the long shot, because you can see their performance switching back and forth to feel how awkward it is between the two of them.
If you were going to play it in the long shot, you would have had to. I forget the technique where you have the double focus going, and they just may not have had the equipment for it.
Well, I mean, they had it set up in the very first bit there, and I was like, oh, right on, but whatever. Again, just another little nitpick thing that I kind of wish that they had, because there's a lot of moments where it's not anything to do with historical accuracy or anything. I'm just like, oh, they could have done this a little bit a different way.
Oh, well, look, I mean, like I said, like, this is a good movie. It's not going to hold up to like the great Scorsese mob films.
No, but, that's a whole nother league.
Right, but it's like there's so many really bad mob movies that a good mob movie, you're like, oh, this needs more attention. Like, the greats get the attention, everyone ignores the bad, but like there's plenty like this where it's like, this is really good. It's just not at that higher level.
Yeah. Oh, this is a really great bit here.
I love this moment.
Yeah, where he starts doing a little bit of his poetry. I wonder if anyone found the real Bumpy Johnson's poetry.
Was he actually a poet, though, or was it just made for the movie?
I'm not entirely sure. I know he was exceptionally intelligent, and I know he actually did like chess a lot. But as far as the poetry, I'm not entirely sure. I guess anyone who's like a Bumpy Johnson, a historical expert in the comments, they can just like put it in below, or they can just be like, or just Google it and claim to be one in the comments, like everyone does these days. So,
but one of the things I do like about Johnson in the history sense, it's like while he was a feared man in Harlem, he was a man who loved his people and would go out of his way to take care of them.
Yeah,
he would give food to the poor and stuff like that, which, to be fair, you would hope any wealthy, successful person would be helping out those less fortunate. But
yeah, man, he was
nice,
kind of
it's nice when you see it.
He was kind of Black Robin Hood back in the day, wasn't he?
Just a bit, yeah.
And that's what, I was actually getting that sense throughout most of the movie, especially, later on in the movie when he steals like a whole bunch of truck and he's like, courtesy of Dutch, and just starts flinging money like, Jack Nicholson at the end of Batman. And so I was like, oh, so was he like was the actual guy like like a real life Black Robin Hood? Like the mobster, gangster, like Robin Hood of Harlem? Like, man, that sounds cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's cool enough that there's actually an ongoing series about it right now.
Oh, is there? What is it?
It's called The Godfather of Harlem, and I can't remember the station it's on. It's something I don't have. It might be Epix or something like that. But yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I think Forrest Whitaker's playing him.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
nice.
Or yeah, let me double check that. But yeah, I know it's ongoing right now, and I've heard good things.
Yeah. I will say that.
Yeah, it's Forrest Whitaker.
Oh,
and it's on
right
Epix.
on. I like that little bit. Give me 5, give me 10,
Yeah.
give me 20, give me 30. I give you 30, but my hands are too dirty. I like that, man.
Oh, dude,
I like
yeah,
that.
that's it.
I fucking like that.
She is one of the highlights of this movie. His performance is just so spot on.
Right? Oh, shit. Right. So, okay, so as soon as they stop the car, this is where the movie, I think, kind of flounders just a little bit. But when they stopped in the middle of that thing and I saw that truck, I'm like, oh, shit's going to go down. I know it. Something's wrong. Like, if they've got guns and they're doing an escort thing and they're doing all these cutaway shots, something bad's going to happen. Like, I just know it. So I kind of wish this was staged just, like, I don't know, edited better slightly. Because, especially right here, I'm like, oh, I knew it! I fucking knew it! And the cops in on it, too! And this is our first big shootout of the movie. We are,
Yep.
We're about half an hour through here, man. And now we're getting some big action scenes. Look at this shit. That's some Bonnie and Clyde crap going right there. Oh, check this guy out. Oh, fuck. This guy right here, where he fumbles around with a shotgun, but still manages to take a guy out.
Right?
Oh, damn. Jesus. All that bloodshed. Now they got to double check to make sure the queen is dead too. But what they didn't count on was the fiercest motherfucking lieutenant in Harlem. Get him, Whispers. Shit. Oh shit. You about to get some. Oh, damn. I don't know what was in the back of that truck, but it was cool.
Right?
Now this shit right here. Mercy. Boom. Doesn't even hesitate. Doesn't even look at him. All right, look. That is so not the way you use a Tommy gun, but fuck if it looks cool.
Right?
Am I right? Oh, man. His shirt was white at the beginning of this movie, man.
Yep.
At the beginning of his day, man. That... Damn. And after all that bloodshed, all that pay, now I really like how it, goes to the wide where you can see the aftermath of the destruction.
And I like that there's an NRA flag. There was just this shootout. There's an NRA flag hanging there.
That is a good. That's actually kind of a funny joke,
right?
Not gonna lie. But I like the payoff where it's just they were going to the opera. That massacre happened, that really horrible, traumatic massacre. And we have this almost painterly shot of these two sitting, listening to the music on the record. Because again, they're not moving.
Yep.
And this almost feels like, someone trying to mimic a Kubrick shot from like something like a Barry Lyndon or something.
Mm.
It's very painterly.
It is.
And again, I like that it doesn't really work for me from a standpoint from like a just like a rhythm standpoint, but I appreciate that they're trying to do something artsy with it. Dougie. I love how, like, just how turned on by this accountant is. Although, to be fair, if I'm Lucky Luciano with, like, all these women available, of course I'd give them a nude swimming pool.
Right?
I mean, shit. Gotta treat the ladies right. I love how uncomfortable this dude is. And he's like, "You enjoying the show?" Oh my. You want to go swimming? Oh shit, I'm sure these ladies will teach you.
Right?
Oh no, this I thought was really cool. Illinois here, right? This is a moment where, pardon, where Chi McBride really just plays how cool he can be. Like, he's got this guy on the floor bound at gunpoint, and he is just so cool about this guy coming in.
I mean, they give him all the fun one-liners.
They do, man. Like, Chi McBride, as Illinois Gordon, man, he gets all the best bits in this movie, and he gets to roll with it. Because I've seen him in a few other roles in movies. Like, I'd seen him in things like I, Robot or The Terminal. And actually, I think out of all the things that I've seen him in, this is probably my favorite thing that I've seen him in. And I'm like, man, wow, I wish he had some more here. But yeah, this scene right here where he just like pulls up all these big ass things of money and got a gift. Yeah. Make it rain, motherfucker. Yeah. Oh, we getting the good bread tonight. Shit.
When you don't, I love this. Like, he's such an ass. It's like, it's decorative, you idiot. You don't eat it.
Oh, is that what it is? Really?
He's eating he's eating one of the apples off the table that are supposed to be there for decoration.
So is that like, is he straight up eating a wax apple?
No, it's a real apple, but it's supposed to be for decoration. He's just too stupid to have the awareness of it.
Oh, okay. And you know, also gotta love how he's really, you know, just throwing it as loudly as he fucking can. See, now I sound like an ASMR artist. Just... So something else that that actually was like really almost bugging me throughout this entire movie was the way Andy Garcia his one eye, and I was wondering like, okay, was that a thing of the actors? Because I know, you know, like guys like Forrest Whitaker, their eye really is kind of screwed up from like an incident back in the day. But no, that's actually makeup, and and it was shots like in the close-ups in this scene particularly where I'm like, okay, that makeup's starting to peel. But it turns out, no, that was to make him look a little bit more like Lucky himself, because he actually got injured in the eye several years ago. I forget where it was. Shit. Yeah, it was a knife injury in 1929. And that's the real Lucky Luciano, not this guy here. But but I don't know. Was that like kind of distracting for you like throughout most of the movie? Because I even looked up like real photographs of Lucky, and it wasn't that bad.
No, it really didn't bother me all that much. But I mean, I can understand why it would be distracting.
I think it's just and again, I don't want to be too like overly critical or anything because it's not really that big of a deal, but I think it's just like bad makeup. I think like they just went a little too far or whatnot. I don't know. I'm just gonna see where the hell this goes.
Yeah, it's this whole thing is just like I mean, I know Schultz was crazy. I mean, in real life, obviously, like the guy was out of his mind.
Oh yeah, he was nuts.
But like when you're just having that much contempt for the heads of like the New York mob families, like that's what that meeting was. Like, these guys run the game. At this time, Murder Inc. is a thing, and you're a part of, like, you know this, and you're just like, I don't give a shit.
You know, a lot of people would be like, I actually love that little bit. He's like, check out the tits on that statue. But no, yeah, honestly, it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, I really want to know what Scorsese would have done if he was taking the reins instead of Bill Duke.
Yeah, and you know, Duke is. I mean, look, I like this movie, but we both know Duke is not super established.
No.
Like, he's mostly done TV. He hasn't done a ton of movies, so it's like, this is a great movie, but like, he is not a man who has like notable directing credits to his name.
Yeah, man. I mean, as a matter of fact, like I said, I was shocked when his name was on the director's chair, because I'm like, what? Get out! Like,
right?
I knew he'd acted in a couple of stuff, but I knew he directed some TV, but I didn't know he did movies or anything. Although, did you know that he did another crime movie in Harlem that actually was nominated for the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival?
I did not.
It's called A Rage in Harlem. And it's with Forrest Whitaker and Danny Glover. And apparently it's almost like a comedy. So, yeah, it's I need to check out. Yeah, I know. I need to check it out because a lot of the production design and a lot of the sentimentality. Oh yeah, these motherfucking guys. But a lot of the sentimentality of like the era and the look of this era carry over from A Rage in Harlem into this movie. I also love this. Like, I think that's a really wonderful way to actually spit in his face, but not spit in his face. But yeah, dude, these fucking guys. Okay, so, you'll probably recognize the one guy on the right there. You'll probably that's what was it? Mike Starr. He was in Goodfellas. He was in Ed Wood. He was also the guy in the middle with Dumb and Dumber. You know, he's like, "What's the most annoying sound in the world?" Like he's
you don't
the
kill
dude in the
people
middle.
you don't know. That's a rule.
Okay, now that fucking this fucking police captain is such a.
Oh yeah.
It's such a stupid caricature, but it's actually kind of fun, especially
it works so well. You're right. It's a completely stupid caricature, but it plays so perfectly here.
I also really love his introduction where he's just like, "All right, hands up." Gotcha. Like, actually, I'm like, okay, that's actually kind of fun. But no, Mike Starr, yeah, he's been typecast in a whole bunch of different He's been typecast in a whole bunch of different tough guy roles, and I'm like, oh right, I remember him
even
from
on Law. I've seen him on Law and Order being a tough guy. So
yeah, he was in Miller's Crossing and just about he's been in a whole bunch of shit. But you pointed out that the other dude actually is his brother.
Yep.
Those guys are actual brothers, which I'm like, get the fuck out.
Yep.
Right on. That's awesome. And apparently he's been in he's actually done some tough guy roles as well. He's just not quite as prolific.
He doesn't
as Mike.
have like as an iconic look, but
all right, so it might. Man, dude, this party is fucking great.
Oh yeah.
Now, I want to know, because it's never confirmed in this movie, is that Fats Domino?
I don't know.
It very well could be, you know?
Are you kidding me, by the way?
What?
Domino.
Fats Domino, what?
Domino? Like, your pronunciation, I'm sorry. I was just like...
I heard, that's how I heard it once, and it just kind of stuck there, but... I really want, but still, is that Fats? Is that?
I don't know
Domino?
if that's supposed to be him or not. Look up the IMDb page, see what they label them.
I don't. Actually, you know what? No, it probably isn't because Fats wasn't born until 1928.
Yeah, so nope.
He'd be 10. He'd be 10 by now.
Not even. Schultz was dead in 35.
That's very true. But you know what? Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna see if he was listed as Fats, just because this movie's already stupidly inaccurate.
Oh yeah.
Because remember, as I pointed out before, Pigfoot Mary was dead by this point,
right,
in real life, and she was in her 60s. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to check it out. Don't you just love the fact that even though his woman walked out and he's blocked by this guy, he still gives him like a little bit of like a heads up on things?
Yeah, well, you know, it's like he's not trying. He's got to still do what's right for his people. Sorry, I was trying to find the right words. It's like, you can't, if you mess up how you come off, how you're playing yourself, you're not going to help yourself.
Right. From what it says on the cast list, it doesn't list him as Fats, so.
Well, there you go.
Alrighty then, settles that. Man, dude, look at I really am digging the set dressing for this movie. Not just the cars, but also things like the barrels and the vintage. Such a weird combination of words, but vintage trash. But it's true. Like you got to have like the old cigarette packs and whatnot, and have them just like crumple them up, throw them on the ground and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Old flyers from the day. Yeah, so you mentioned like it's times like right here where the score gets to play up.
Yeah, and
it's once again not as memorable as the Untouchables.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not iconic.
No, and it may be. You know what? I wonder how much this movie cost to make. What was it like? Okay, so it was $30 million. Oh shit! This was actually a box office bomb. It only made $23 million.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sucks.
This right here, though.
Okay, now, yeah, you're right. This is probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. These guys just asking around what's the best food to get around this here.
They're just arguing.
Yeah, for real.
But politely.
And they're also, I just love, like, the look on Mike's face, where he's just clearly pissed off at all of this. But my favorite little bit where they actually agree, I know we'll get to it. Yeah. I'm like, that's a lot of fun. Damn, that is a hell of a mural. What is that? Actually, a window, or is that like a painting?
I think it's a painting.
Either way, that is impressive. Oh shit. Not good. Oh, this guy. I wish I'd been to all these places now. I kind of want to check them out, see for myself. Now this right here. They both say Nathan's. Which you know what? Back in the 1930s, like especially if you're from New York, it's always going to be the best Frankfurter. Nathan's. Yep. Have you ever had Nathan's? I'm actually curious because I never actually had a Nathan's hot dog.
But I'm not a hot dog person.
Okay. See, I kind of am. Not just because I'm from Chicago, but I also got way into Toledo chili dogs as well. Especially things like Tony Pacos. We're actually going to be having Tony Pacos. Okay, it's night we're recording, man. We're going to be having some Tony Pacos tonight. It's going to be good shit.
Yeah, I'm just not my jam.
That's fair, man. I do want to try me out one of them Nathan's hot dogs, though. This shit, man. Snap. Hold on. This moment brought to you by Lord of the Rings. I really want to know what possessed them to be like, oh, hold on, don't do it yet. Bam! So, okay, real quick. Are they fighting in their bathroom? Because now
Yes.
because now I really wish that they had missed. They wanted it should have gone with their opportunity to do a little bit of an homage to Psycho. Like, not overtly, like, with the shower and everything, but just have a little bit of, like, an homage to Psycho.
Eh.
That's just me. At least that's probably what the way... I know that's the route that Martin Scorsese would have gone if he was directing this. Just in the nick of time. Shoot him again! Yeah! He's a big boy. You got to put a couple of rounds in him.
He is a big boy.
Shit. Still, I really want to know what actually tipped them off that they were coming. Because there's a lot of instances in this movie where Laurence Fishburne has, like, almost superhuman levels of instinct and foresight.
Yeah.
And look, I get that he was way smarter, but you should still, like, show us why.
Yeah.
You know? That's because that was because as cool as that sequence was, I just never understood what tipped him off. Really? Like, was there like a missing scene there, or?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Seriously though, these two are probably have the best chemistry in the entire movie. Oh yes, please step on me. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. See, what I would have... Oh, man. Fucking cops, man.
Right, but, like, he is just such, like, this delightful caricature that just plays perfectly in this movie.
I know. He even waves goodbye, man. Yeah, I'm... And then, of course, it's this bit right here, because once again, just showing off that display of power. You know, I'm actually curious. I just like this. I for some reason it's just hit me. I guess I was distracted how fucking cool it was. But those Pickaxe brothers, were they like a legit thing back in the day? Were those two like based on anyone?
No idea.
I want to know because that feels like that's just wild enough that it could have been a thing back in those days. Hey, what's up? Gotta go through me. Damn. That's the other thing that kind of just like pushes a weird button for me is like the weird jump cuts.
Yeah.
Scenes and whatnot. Because I get it. You want to just like move the movie along already. But I don't know. Also, like, that's another thing about the writing of this movie. This movie clearly wants to have the dynamic of, you know, having Bumpy Johnson to be the borderline pacifist calculator, you know, with the philosophy like why fight when you can negotiate,
Yeah.
And then you have the wild card Dutch as
Yeah.
just shoot first, ask questions later. This movie clearly wants to have that kind of a showdown, but now it could just be me. But do you ever get the sense that you have those kind of polar opposite characters going up against one another? Because I don't know, I feel like there's not enough. The movie doesn't highlight enough of that contrast for me.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
That's actually kind of a brilliant idea, actually.
Right.
Now, were the green slips an actual thing in their racket to help distinguish them from the competition?
Honestly, I don't know, but it is a brilliant move.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to know if the whole, because later on, because again, I really wish that they elaborated a little bit more on the concept of the numbers racket, because I had to look up a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
in post.
and see, that could just be it. Like, I was already familiar with the idea of a numbers racket going into this movie, so it wasn't a surprise to me.
Okay, because I wasn't as familiar with it as most people, and I kind of wish that the movie helped explain it a little bit more, just so the audience could keep track with what their operations were.
Yeah.
And
I agree with you. A montage would have,
greatly
worked
improved
very
this.
well.
Yeah. Or hell, even just and look, I know it's totally just like knocking off Scorsese, but the dude knows what he's doing, so maybe having a voiceover throughout this whole thing would have helped too.
Well, but I mean, to the point, since The Godfather, there's very few movies I can think of that are gangster movies that don't have a montage at some point.
Yeah,
that is a very effective cinematic tool, and it's just like, why is that not utilized?
Well, honestly, there are points even in The Godfather where there's a couple of montages, after where Michael Corleone kills the cop afterwards. There's that whole.
Yeah, but I meant more like an establishing montage, like that's in Scarface, which you just did.
Yeah, like we have the whole operation.
Oh, and here we go.
What's going on? Okay,
here we go.
Hey, speaking of a montage, here's one right now. Which, I actually kind of appreciate, because he's like, I don't want any bloodshed. I want this to be peaceful. And then just nonstop bloodshed and violence. And I also like how there's even CG money and coins falling around too.
One of my big problems, though, is that they've reused parts from the scene earlier in the movie. It's come on.
They recycle a lot, which, again, I imagine is, them trying to save money and whatnot, but... But either way, I give them credit for trying.
Yeah.
But, again, I wish that this movie had one more that really delved you into the operations.
Yeah.
Because we only get a sense of what they're doing. We get how they're feeling, but not necessarily know what they're doing specifically.
Yeah.
Anyway. Man, look at that shot right there. Well, I don't even know what the hell that shot is, but it's kind of cool. Oh, hell no! Tyrone! No! And again, right here, it's Bill Duke being a little artsy with the 2-3-5 and the close-up of the eye. See, hey, here's our Psycho... our Psycho homage, if you will. Oh man, this guy again. He is so creepy. I love it, actually. Oh shit. as he pockets like a shitload of money.
Right.
Honestly, like he reminds me of like that old West cliche of the guy who makes the coffins.
Oh yeah.
And he's
100%.
Now here I almost feel like probably not, but I for a second, just for a couple of seconds, I had like a brief flashback to Jaws, where Mrs. Kittner slaps Chief Brody.
Oh yeah.
And I really wish she went all out and actually spit in his face, like just full blown like hocked a loogie on him.
Right.
Because this movie's already like bonkers enough to be like you can get away with that kind of shit.
Right, like
look, you're already
it's
kind of playing
it's
it
already
up.
so like fictionalized. Just have fun with it.
Yeah, for real. Like, look, if you want to like just base it loosely off of events, but you're doing it in service for a better entertainment factor, then do it by all means. Seriously, another really great example. That obviously this isn't one that I enjoy personally, but like the movie Troy, I know tons of people who freaking love it, even though the history and like the adaptation to Homer and whatnot is like it's stupidly off mark. But I know a lot of people who are like, I enjoy it. It's entertaining, and I'm like, right on, good for you. Like I want my things to be a little bit. For something like that, I'd want it to be a little bit closer, especially with the cast and budget they were given. But again, like I hate to keep bringing the Untouchables back in, but it is kind of the perfect example to be like, look, this movie is grossly inaccurate, but holy fuck, is it a lot of fun.
Right.
So that should always be your model when you're going that route. All right, now this is the other moment where I'm like, where the hell did he where did he get his instinct?
Well, no, because it's obvious. Because he always said he doesn't like it on there.
This is a legit great scene, though.
It is.
Oh, Jimmy, you in trouble. I also love how, like, relatively cool. This is, I think, like Laurence Fishburne's moment to shine. Because he is just so cool. Like, and even-headed in this scene, even though everyone else is fucking nervous.
Right.
I almost wish everyone else wasn't so nervous. Because that way the tension would stay there. Because you're not sure. Because if everyone stayed and just watched, and they didn't close the door, and they had to, put the flap on the door down, and everyone was just watching, I would have been a lot more engaged because I wouldn't be sure if he's like just trying to teach this kid a lesson, in like the nicest, polite way possible, or if he's actually sizing him up to do something fucking horrible because he knows what he's doing to him.
Right.
Like, I wish that they kept that kind of tension with it, because as soon as everyone left and they they closed the door and they, flipped the sign and whatnot, that's when I'm like, okay. And there it is. And I'm like, okay, so how's it going to play out at the end of the day? Like, I know it's going to be bad for this guy, but I want to know how this is going to play out. I just wish there was more tension in it. No, I didn't say it. We got some trade in our mist. Okay, the way that he smears the ice cream, man.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I love that. Because there's hints of greatness in this scene. I just wish it was executed slightly better.
Yeah. I mean, it's well written. It just needed to be better composed.
Yeah, it's almost there. I'm really digging it, man. And I especially just love the image of this poor dude, his face smeared with ice cream, and he's got a gun to his face. And I'm not gonna lie, as soon as this happened, I was not entirely sure if they were just gonna kill this motherfucker or if he was actually gonna recruit him.
Right.
Although this is pretty fucking hardcore.
Right.
Eat, motherfucker. You either eat ice cream or you eat a bullet. Though I'm not gonna lie, if I were in his position, I probably would have been like, Joe, just give me the bullet at this point. Oh, damn.
Whew.
Whoa, man. No, but seriously, though, I almost would have been like, you know what, at that point, just fucking shoot me. I kind of wish we actually got to see Jimmy the ice cream scooper actually like slowly die of poisoning.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that we had that payoff. Because now we got nothing. Although we do get it with this guy here. Oh, boy. And again, I like because Laurence Fishburne really gets to play with this whole thing where this really good material where I legitimately don't know if he's actually going to spare someone or if he's just going to fucking kill him.
And I love the rattle with the cup, like to show how nervous. I mean,
that's a lovely little sound design there. But Laurence Fishburne actually does convince me. I'm not sure whether or not he's going to spare him or recruit him or just kill him. And I thought for just a second that he wasn't, but then this shot lingers on him.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cut away. And as soon as that, yeah, like right there, I'm like, oh, no, he's gone. He gone. Oh, with the razor.
Yep.
I find it also super ironic that Whispers is the one who slits his throat.
Right, I love it.
Oh, the Cotton Club. You know, that's still a movie I haven't sat down and watched. I need to. Is it any good? I hear
I have not watched it either, but I should as well.
Yeah, because I hear it's like, it's not, Francis Ford Coppola's best, but it's still pretty good. At least that's what I've been told. Although, interestingly enough, did you know
I did.
Laurence Fishburne is in that one too, and he pretty much plays the same character. He plays Bumpy Jackson in that one, which is like a little minor character, which I'm like, hey, that's kind of cool. I love this song. But hey, check it out, everyone. It's King Kong. Gonna be on HBO Max pretty soon. At least as of this recording. Oh, he's fucking crazy. Do-wop, 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 do-wop. Yeah. And everyone can clearly see his gun too.
Right?
Yeah, what's up? I like that. It's a new day, motherfucker.
But like right there, the shot where he drops her, that could have been done so much better.
Yeah, man. A lot of missed opportunities here, and I don't want to give credit away from Bill Duke. He still does a really good job. I just, man, because look, when you give it in the hands of Scorsese, you know you can get something like truly masterful. But that's because he is the master, man. What's up? Actually, okay, upon this second viewing, I'm liking Tim Roth's role even more. Ultimatum, bitches! Oh, this fucking shit here, man. Damn. That's smart. I love his reaction. He's like, hey, that's hardcore. Why did you let that motherfucker bring a gun in there in the first place? Oh, wait, no. Yeah, it's because he's white.
It's because he's Dutch Schultz. He's an insane gangster. You tell him no, he's liable to shoot you.
Good point.
He had a reputation for being crazy.
Mm-hmm. Now, not gonna lie, I wish the scene continued just for a couple more beats after they left.
Yeah.
Because, there's got to be that really awkward moment where it's just the wide shot and he's standing up on that stage. And, they just kind of looks at him and he's like, the fuck you want? Let's get back to the show. Let's go. So... Oh, man. Blowing up a brewery.
Yup.
That's hardcore. Damn. All of them are like, damn, he gangsta. Jesus. And Illinois is like, what? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like, drink,
what?
Drink now, drink.
Yep, there it is. Oh, hell. Another really great scene with these two, especially with Illinois Gordon here, because this is the point where he it's almost as if, like, Bumpy Johnson's character, he's got like all these people that he can talk to, but Illinois is like the one he trusts with more than anyone.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, this scene is done very well, but I also, I kind of have to agree. Like, I enjoy it, but a pullout. Show them both together instead of just
in
going
the same
back and
frame.
forth. Yeah.
You're right. You're totally right. That scene should have been with the two of them in the same frame.
It's like you can cut to close-ups, but there should have been them in the same frame at some point.
Yeah, especially when they go to shake each other's hand at the very end.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I'm wondering is how the hell did none of these guys recognize these two?
Because they're not from that operation. They're from the other side. They don't go up there.
You would have think they would have been briefed on it, though.
I mean, maybe, but...
I guess it feels like a little bit too risky to have basically your lead captain of operations go in himself.
Well, yeah, but again, highly fictionalized, and it makes it more fun.
That is very true, and this is also one of the more fun sequences in the movie. Although I'm actually curious what possessed them to say, okay, 7 minutes is our timer. Let's go. Why couldn't they have, bumped it up to 10, 15 minutes?
Because you don't want them to have enough time to find it and defuse it.
Probably. Dude, you really got to calm down.
Right.
Because look at his face, man. Also, can we talk about Laurence Fishburne's wardrobe here? Like, goddamn, he is looking snazzy. You know what's another really great acting choice for him? He chooses for this scene alone, he chooses just a little bit of a lisp. Just to make him a little less intimidating.
Right.
I actually kind of like that. See what I mean? And that's where he's looking. He's got to look around his shoulder and be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Yeah, right here. He's just like, dude, shut your mouth. Oh, shit.
Move your ass!
Run, motherfucker! Run, motherfucker! Run, fool! Run! Get the fuck out of there! Move! Drive, fool! Drive! Shit. Go! Boom! Damn, that was cool. Ah, shit, that's cool. Now, I really hope they gunned it, man, because if any one of those bullets hit the tires, they are fucking screwed. I hope they rounded. Again, I kind of wish they rounded the corner real quick. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. So, yeah, like I said, her character was already dead beforehand. And
right.
But even so, in the context of this movie, oh, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
Because seriously, these two had stronger chemistry than Laurence Fishburne and Vanessa Williams.
Oh, for sure.
I also like the little touch of sound with the stove.
Yeah.
Oh, hell. Poor guy. And once again, meeting up with Lucky as old Dewey. Oh, God. And, you know, look, I'll give him this. Like, if you really want to go with that weird fucking choice to have Dewey to be a sleazy scumbag who is, you know, in deep with the mafia's tits, fine. Right. But I will admit this. Casting Mr. Anti-Ghostbuster here. God, what is his name? William Atherton. Excuse me, sorry.
Oh, man.
You know, just like Mr. Anti-Ghostbuster and, you know, John McClane's worst enemy besides, you know, Hans Gruber. I will give him this. Like, they cast the right guy for the role. If you really want to make him a sleazy scumbag, at least they cast it right. This is a weird scene for me. I mean, I know that... I know that you know, Lucky Luciano was a devout Catholic, but can we just like cut away to the the gang war between, you know, Bumpy and Dutch? Because honestly, as a matter of fact, I submit to you that Lucky Luciano is actually in this movie too much. Just a little bit. Just like, because again, he's really just like the Godfather in the background, just kind of waiting to see who wins and just deal with that.
But he's also the guy who, in history, you know, sanctioned the hit on Dutch.
Yeah, yeah. So I understand. I mean, again, it's not that I don't not want him in the movie, but his role should probably be downplayed just a little bit so we can focus on, you know, the main two. Because, like I said, the contrast between their characters, not just in history, but also in the context of this movie, is such a huge contrast that it could be a legitimately fun, you know, versus movie.
Right.
You know, because like I said, that's why they made such a smart choice to make, you know, Elliot Ness in The Untouchables like this squeaky clean, you know, lawful good kind of character.
Yeah.
And then have, you know, Robert De Niro to be like almost borderline chaotic and evil. So when you have those two dynamics so far over, it makes it for some great conflict and a great movie and really fun stuff. So if you focused on that here, I think this would have been a much, much stronger movie.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Because for me, when I finished the movie, I'm like, yeah, that's about a C plus B minus movie. Like, it's good. It's not great. It could have been more memorable. There's stuff in here that I really fucking like, but I really wish I saw more of.
Yeah.
Now, although this scene I would like to keep in here because Lucky never really liked Dutch, ever. No, he's like, God, I'm trying to run a motherfucking international business here, and you're just shooting your gun dick everywhere you want with no predetermined thought to the consequences. I mean, shit. Lucky Luciano was actually intelligence in the Navy during World War II, so.
Yeah,
he's clearly smart enough to work with this kind of stuff. I'm going to close the window because it's starting to storm outside.
Yeah, I mean, the lines where he's just, you know, Dutch trying to go tough to Luciano. I mean, that may have been how he actually was in real life, but...
Although this line here...
Yeah, except the book came out a year after he died.
Either way, it's still pretty funny.
It is, but like, come on, like, you're trying to step to Luciano, like, no offense, anyone at this time trying to step to that man is like, are you an idiot? Are you an
dude,
idiot?
Seriously. You're talking about one of the most powerful members of the mob
Right.
Especially
Well,
at that time. I mean, he arguably, even at this time, he was even bigger than Capone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a guy, well, who organized, I mean, with the council, he organized he was the mastermind between organizing all the families into a council that made group decisions.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's him.
That is the OG Godfather, man.
It's like literally, and the council has, you know, records as still being something in existence today. Like,
yeah, I know.
The last official thing on it is 2018. They have a wiretap on record of somebody saying it got permission from the council.
Yeah, man.
He set up a mob organization that is still going. Like, I mean, he's not
underestimate that guy.
Yeah, you don't fuck with him.
No. Lucky Luciano is a guy you want to stay on his good side, or not on his radar at all.
Right.
Oh, and this bit here. Again, this would lend itself so well to be a Scorsese movie because it checks literally all the fucking boxes. Like, the only thing that's really missing is to have, Laurence Fishburne's character to have multiple girlfriends or mistresses.
Right.
That's the only thing that's missing me. Although it's weird because apparently the real the real Bumpy Johnson, I don't know if he actually had any romantic things going on during this period, but I do know that he was married in 1948, and actually stayed married all the way until his death.
Yeah, and she actually wrote a biography. His wife wrote a biography about him.
Oh, right on. But I wonder if this is based off of like a previous relationship, because I'm not entirely sure.
I love the delivery here, though.
Yeah. Damn. No. He's got something else to say. Although I kind of wish it had like a lot more of a gut punch than what it actually is.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Like
this setup called for something just damning to say.
Exactly, and it just turns into this like,
yeah, exactly. It just was like, bruh. Also, there's another thing that I really wish that they played up in this movie, and it's there, but it's not quite, is the chess motif.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, even in the frame, it's way at the top of the screen, but it's never the focus, and I really wish that was like a bigger motif in this movie. Because, look, I know that chess, the motif of chess is kind of overused in movies and whatnot, but it's still really effective,
Yeah. I love, by the way, this scene, though.
Oh, yeah.
This scene, this is some of the only character development we get for his enforcer, and it's great.
Oh, shit. Do it. Won't give him eye contact, though.
But right here, it's like...
Okay, this is great writing here.
Yeah.
This actually feels like it was in an old Howard Hawks movie.
Right, but like that level of condescension and insult, it's like, damn.
Yeah. Take the scraps home, you fucking dog, is what he's saying. And like I said, I'm not gonna lie, the writing in that is perfect.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like that would be totally at home in like an old Howard Hawks movie. Shit.
But what I wish they would have showed, like, again, a little more. Show him throw it in the trash on the way out.
Yeah, just a little
like,
bit
just
more.
Just outside
that
it leaves the building.
There's just a couple, like, you probably could, it's weird. Like, you could actually probably make this a really good 2.5 hour movie instead of just a 2-hour one.
Yeah.
Hell, you could probably even turn it, if you wanted, and again, only if it's justified, but this could also be like a really good 3-hour epic, too.
I mean, yeah, like, and that's just it. I mean, it's been a while since I've watched it, and watching it with you and more fresh eyes, it's like, yeah, I see what you mean. There's a lot of points where it's like a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah. Oh, dude, this is where Chi McBride really gets to shine as an actor, man. Just the insane amount of sweat that they put on him.
Like you got that much of a drunk on that you're just sweating bullets.
Sweating bullets, and what's even crazier is like somehow he's actually managing to emote the tears as well.
Yeah.
Because just like, especially in these really big close-ups, you'll be able to see just tears running down his face and pure anger and resentment. Oh. Once again, here it is. Another thing with the chest. I wish there was more of that. Or it was just a little bit better streamlined.
Well, yeah, it's a good motif they didn't use enough. They put it in there, and then they just didn't use it enough.
Yeah, if you, like, baked it into the rhythm of the movie a little bit better.
Right,
that
or like,
yeah.
Before every major beat, like, show a chess move before the queen was attacked. Show a chess move before he goes and blows up the brewery, you know? That would have worked really well.
Oh, shit. And I believe that is the only time he raises his voice in this entire movie.
Yeah.
Shit. And that's the other thing that's really great about this shot. Because you know how we mentioned that we wanted, more things to be in the wide so you could see all the actors? This is where I'm like, finally, you're doing...
Right.
Look, and it's kind of frustrating because you're like, I know you're capable. Look, right here. This great shot where it plays out in just one take in the wide shot where you can see all the actors' faces. that's when it shines. And there's other times where I'm like, you can do that too for these other scenes. It's okay. Like, it actually helps the experience. Oh, that though, he gives up his sidearm, man. And now here's another thing that I kind of wish that they played up just a little bit. So Illinois is basically his lieutenant right now, right? So I kind of wish that they used that almost as a way of poetically having your lieutenant surrender his sidearm to his captain.
But man, right here though.
Oh yeah.
Joe, don't you hear Dutch laughing? Like,
yeah.
Oh my God! It's those little
devastating.
moments that's like, no wonder. Like those little moments if you love this movie.
Oh yeah, dudes, for real. That moment, and right there when it cuts to the captain and him walking, I'm like, oh fuck, he's gonna get popped. I literally did. I was watching this late last night, and I as soon as it cut to the police captain there, I literally went, no, because I know he's gonna get popped or something worse. and it was enough to be like to startle my fiance in the other room, and she's like, whoa, what happened? I'm like, he's gonna get popped. So. Oh man. I really love his drunk performance here too. And I also love how the sweat is only reduced to his forehead and below his eyes. Ah. God damn it. This is literally the moment where I'm like, fuck. Because he really was like my favorite character in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell, he ain't talking. Fuck, dude, even the mustache is just like so over the top and just like they make that mustache really fucking punchable. Oh, dude, come on. At this point, everyone in that room knows there's no way of letting him go at this point.
No.
Now this is fucking nasty. Just the description of that. Yeah. I think the only other nastier thing that I could think of was, in Casino where they put the guy's head in the vice.
Oh, yeah.
Until they pop his eyeball out.
Oof.
Oh. Oh, God. I remember watching that first time. I actually had to look away when they cut away because, like, I can't. It's this point where Lucky Luciano really should just favor Bumpy at this point. Because, like, he is literally just speaking in business terms where he's like, look, this is my territory, this is my neighborhood, this is my racket, I want to do with what I do without any outside interference. And this guy is just pointing his fucking dick all over the place. and getting blood everywhere. Like, can y'all just like shove him off to the corner? And in a weird way, that's kind of what Lucky winds up doing. Oh! Sorry, but he ain't going to jail for a couple more decades. And that's because he got into way harder stuff after that. I mean, he wasn't dealing with numbers in the 50s,
Right.
man. He was
Right.
he was dealing in the hardcore drug racket, which actually led him to mentor another famous black criminal, Frank Lucas. Yeah, man, American Gangster. Oh yeah. Was that okay? So, have you seen American Gangster? I have not actually.
I have. It's quite good.
That's what I've been told.
I'm a big Russell Crowe fan, so I've seen most of his catalog.
Yeah, I've heard it's really, really fucking good. I just never got around to watching it.
Well, when is Denzel bad?
Yeah, oh, of course, exactly. Denzel Washington is rarely bad. Hell, even in his lesser films, he's still the best thing in it. Oh, fuck, dude. The look on these guys' face, especially that dude in the center. That's when you're like, I was literally expecting just like him cut up into pieces, hanging up. And you know what? I wasn't that far off. Oh, Jesus. Gotta give it to Illinois, though. He never gave him up. Even though he was totally justified to betray him. You know?
What do you mean? Yes, he did. That's how he found out where his bank was. That's why he had the slips. He got tortured to the point where he gave up where the location of his bank was. That's why Schultz thinks he has Bumpy Johnson dead to rights. That's why he says his judge is going to send him to jail. He got the information. He tortured the information out of him. However, this payback scene is amazing.
Yeah, it is. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought that professional down there, I totally thought that she was with Bumpy, but no. Hi. Schnick. Oh, no, you don't. Now, that was weird editing, wasn't it? I kind of wish it was a little bit more just, like, honest and brutal.
Yeah, I wish there was some, like, blood spray with it.
Yeah, man, because when as soon as it was over, I'm like, wait, that's it? Like,
yeah.
Based on what he did to Illinois, man, like, I was like, yeah, I felt a little anticlimactic. Although this confrontation is really fucking good. I like this. Oh, no. Oh, man. That's such a good response.
Yep. I love that line. How the fuck you know I sleep at all? I mean, like I said, moments like that. There's such really excellent moments of delivery in this movie.
Yeah, for real, man. And it's crazy because I know that Bumpy's just thinking, oh, he's got a point. He ain't no different. Yeah, man, it's these slow painterly camera moves that I appreciate, even though they're not quite executed and they don't really quite fit the rhythm. I really appreciate that they're really trying here.
And we got some of the chess motif again.
Hey, yeah, man, seriously, if the rhythm of that was a little bit better set, because I think just the right amount of chess content is in this movie. But it just needs to be, fitted into the narrative a little bit better. He's got a point, man. Can't have no wild cards running around. Also, I'm not going to lie. This room really I know this is really bad, but this room really reminds me. You take the blue pill, story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole really goes. It's this. I would not be surprised if this was like the same set, and they just recycled it for The Matrix. Also, that was another weird editing choice where they start talking the plan. Yeah, and you're really interested, and it just kind of fades away, and I'm like, hey, wait, no, I want in on this. Come on, movie, why are you going away? Come back. That's very true. I kind of actually like that nickname though. They call him the Dutchman. So I'm actually curious. So you've seen American Gangster. Does Bumpy Johnson ever get mentioned in the movie? Because I know he's supposed to be.
He's in the beginning of it.
Oh, he is.
And
okay, right on.
It's played by that guy he just had a sit down with.
Oh, no kidding! Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
What was his name again?
Clarence Williams.
Clarence Williams III. Yeah, he plays Bumpy in American Gangster.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to check that out in one of these days. I was actually.
I love that moment though. When they talk about suits, do you know, dress the part, be classy.
Yeah. This fucking guy in the background just eating a pickle with his unusually short tie. Someone teach this man how to dress. Still, actually, I really was debating on whether or not to do American Gangster in accordance to this one. Because didn't I run that by you? Suggest hey, how about we do American Gangster to show off the Black Mafia and that sort of thing.
I mean, that was one of the ones suggested, but I went with this one just because that one has a lot of focus on the cop and Russell Crowe's character as well. And so I like this movie better just as an example of the Black Mob.
Right. Not a whole lot of movies of the Black Mob around.
No, not enough. Not enough.
There really should be more like this. You know what? One of these days, seriously, I'm still proposing.
But a lot of it also then started being the drug trade. So you want a good example of like drug organized crime? New Jack City is a great example.
Yeah, there you go. I still submit to you that Madam Queen, a movie about Madam Queen, would be an amazing biopic
Oh
for the
yeah.
Black Mob movies. Because, so, I mean, right there, you have the fucking name of the movie right there. The Queen of Harlem. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I guess if Hollywood ever winds up listening to this show, which I doubt, but it'd be fun. It'd be fun to, like, try to pitch this to them.
Whoo! Look at that pile of cash in 1930s money. Damn,
dude, for real, and for the colored community, man, because they got fucked over in the 30s so hard. Oh, shit's gonna go down. I do like this whole bait and switch thing, though.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant.
Did they actually show where they escaped?
I don't know.
I don't think they did, and then I guess that's one more thing that I wish that they showed. Oh, damn! Yeah, because right here they're trying to cut them off and seal the building in case they try to double back.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, like as soon as watch this, they go, boom, and just unload on this shit.
Yeah, and
after
I'm just
all
like,
that,
how many shots do you gotta fire before you notice it's empty? You know what I mean?
Oh, I know, because clearly that shotgun does not have any rounds left, and that Tommy gun is like almost empty. But seriously, no one's around. Like, how did they escape?
Right.
I would like to. Can't we just have like one cutaway where they're like climbing down a fire escape or something, going through a tunnel or? Oh, this is really cool. 235. I wonder if that was an actual thing, for the numbers back then.
Well, you remember though, right, from earlier in the movie?
Yeah, well, I know it is.
Omen of they called it an omen of death.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
See right here, he even goes like it means death. But I wonder if that was actually historically accurate or not.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Damn! He just unloaded on him.
I love that. I got a surprise for little Arthur Flegenheimer. What a name. But that's so true, like they said earlier in the movie. Of course you're going to call yourself Dutch Schultz. Who's going to be afraid of Arthur Flegenheimer?
No. You got to have a cool gangster name. All right, so we mentioned like that caddy got like a shitload of money.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, right here. It's like they just like, oh god damn. Whoo! Look at them Benjamins. He's not. That's really true. I mean, like he's like he set that up meeting up because because you're an idiot and he's not.
Right. Excuse me.
Oh fuck. That's a signal. See, right then and there, he should have gone for his gun.
Yeah.
Because this is actually fairly close to how...
I mean, he had 3 associates with him. It was done by Murder, Inc. It was pretty brutal, actually.
Yeah. However, he was lucid enough to actually walk and sit back down.
Yes, and he was shot in a bathroom.
Yes.
He did not die instantly. He did survive for in the hospital, I think, for a little bit.
Yeah, he survived for about a day. He went into surgery. They even gave him the last rites and everything as per his wishes, because practically all mobsters back then were Catholics.
Right. Except I think, I don't know, was he a Catholic?
Oh yeah, he totally was.
Okay.
I was reading up on him, and he totally got the last rites, to the point where he even had a stenographer for legal reasons in his death in the hospital on his deathbed. However, I will admit, I get that they're trying to be a little bit poetic and coy with us in his death here, because the dude gets shot 3 times, and he calmly walks back to the table to sit down to finish his drink. That sounds cool on paper. It just doesn't quite work out, Oh, fuck. Now, in that quick insert where he pulls the hat up, I kind of wish that there was a blood spray.
Right?
I really wish come on, man. Really give us if you're going to go guts and glory with this, go all the way. Don't be afraid. It's cool. I get this is more of a thriller, but it's all right. Have fun. Entertain us,
Which this is not true, because the war actually ended by Luciano getting paid out, getting a piece of the action.
Yeah.
And that's how the piece remained. I mean, Harlem started paying a piece upstairs to the mob, and the mob left him alone to do their business.
Yep.
Like the mob will. I mean, and even they say it in Goodfellas, they're police for people who can't go to the police.
Yeah.
You pay them a piece, they let you do your business.
The business of crime is as much business as crime,
Right.
I do like this exchange, though. This also feels like the end scene to a long lost movie that was written by oh God, what was his name? Oh wow, hang on. I see his name. See his face. Okay, this feels like the ending scene of a Billy Wilder movie.
Yeah.
Especially this line here.
Yep.
I love that line when he's like, "Well, I got some business to take care of. What about you? I'm gonna get some sleep."
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Because really, that feels like a Billy Wilder.
And that's just it. There's a lot of great lines in this movie. Good delivery. Good callbacks. It's got the elements. Just doesn't quite get there.
Yep. It's just not quite as well put together as one could hope.
Yeah.
Also do really love this guy here. Once again, I almost wish there was a dolly shot tracking in his point of view, where where his face is locked to the camera, just to make it a little bit more creepy. Because I would like to, in most of these movies where the coffin man of the westerns and the gangster movies, I always get the hint that people want people to feel like he's the devil, or he's the Grim Reaper, rather.
Right.
And I think, and it really is reinforced here that he feels like the symbolism of the Grim Reaper in this movie. Oh, shit. And once again, he did a wonderful job on his face for what happened. Oh man, dude. You know, again, if this movie really was directed and edited and written to the calibers that we're thinking of, honestly, Laurence Fishburne probably could have gotten an Oscar nomination early for this, you know?
I mean, with a bit of adjusting, yeah, he does a great performance.
He does here. But just imagine if it was a little bit better written, a little bit better edited, a little bit better directed. He actually might have gotten a nomination. He probably wouldn't have won, but a nomination is still a huge stepping stone for any actor.
I think he has been nominated, though.
I think he has, but it was like
I think he's been nominated by. I don't know. Let me look.
Oh wait, no shit. I take that back. He was nominated for. He was nominated in '93 for What's Love Got to Do with It. That's right.
That's an odd little close shot, though. I'll give it that.
I know that was a weird way to close the movie, but all right. Hey man, Bill Duke still does a really great job. He probably do a better job than I would, honestly.
Well, so he'd had some by this point.
Yeah, but that was Hoodlum, man, and so second time around, I'm liking it a lot more, even though I'm the flaws and the little ticks and beats that could be better. Even though I'm seeing those even more clear. The good stuff, oh man, is getting better for me.
Yeah, there's just so many great little moments in there that it's like, they help kind of smooth over the rough edges.
Yeah.
Like those really fun moments that are just like, oh, that delivery is so well done and that writing there is so, it's just like, all right, you can't help but enjoy it.
Exactly. And imagine if you didn't have those performances or if you didn't have those little moments. Honestly, this movie would have plummeted in quality if those weren't there.
Oh,
Because, so, yeah, man, I'm actually really glad that I got to... Oh, yeah, and Queen Latifah was in here.
Right.
Would you believe that? How about that? Mike Starr and Bustar. I really want to know if those Hatchet guys that they played were based on real, mob hitmen. I really want to know because, again, it's just stupid enough to be like... Hey, that might have actually been a thing back in the 30s. I
mean, it's definitely possible.
And if it's not, it still makes great entertainment, dude. I still think that their exchange when they're going back and forth about what's the best place to get food, that's probably one of my favorite moments in the whole movie. But also music again, a little bit better. Although, did you know that this movie had a hip hop and R&B soundtrack to go with this that is non-existent in this movie? Nothing. There is, yeah, exactly. There's even there's a song that called Hoodlum performed by Mobb Deep, and it's not bad. Like because I listened to some of the soundtrack while I was reading up on this movie, and yeah, it's pretty good. Although it's just the fact is that soundtrack is nowhere to be seen throughout this entire movie.
Yeah.
Which I almost kind of wish that it was, because do you remember that terrible movie? Oh yeah, right here is the disclaimer, although this is portrayed by real people, this is really fictionalized, you guys. Yeah. So, but no, I was gonna say, did you ever see that god awful movie Gangster Squad with what was it, Josh Brolin, Sean Penn,
I did,
Ryan Gosling,
and I will agree it's not good, but I will say this, it's one of the few performances by Sean Penn I didn't hate.
Yeah, he was kind of the high point of that movie.
Well, I will be honest here, I am not a fan of Sean Penn.
Yeah, he's kind of
to me, usually, if Sean Penn touches something, it turns to shit, in my opinion. Also, the fact that he has won Oscars over... Let's put it this way. I feel the only reason the man has Oscars is because votes got split.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, I won for Mystic River. Why? Because Bill Murray and Johnny Depp split the other vote, and both of them were more deserving.
Yeah. But no, what I was gonna say is, like, do you remember how Gangster Squad had like an R&B and rap soundtrack, even though it was set in, like, post-war America?
I don't, and I've seen that done effectively. So
yeah, and you know what? I'm okay with that if you really know what you're doing, because really, it's because I remember seeing the trailer and I'm like, oh wow, they're doing like this gangster rap sort of thing, even though this movie takes place in the 1940s. Like, okay,
yeah, like,
weird choice.
I've seen that stuff done effectively, so I don't mind it. But it depends. Like, if you're going to do that, though, you have to kind of make the movie with that in mind.
Absolutely, and it just feels weird that this movie has like an R&B and hip hop soundtrack attached to it, even though none of it resembles this movie in any way, shape, or form, and does not appear. It's not even appearing in the credits here.
Right.
You know how easy it would have been to just slap one over the credits because everyone's already leaving, but no, they're keeping the score, which I'm like, that's a weird choice, you guys.
Yeah.
Also, can you imagine just all the money that was spent on paying the producers and the artists to do that soundtrack, to promote that movie, even though maybe that's why it cost $30 million, because they had $10 million bucks.
And as I said, I came to this movie later, like significantly later, and maybe that's part of the problem, is that they advertised it in a way that just did not hold up to what this movie was.
Yeah. That's probably what it was. But you know what? I'm still really glad that I watched it, and I'm glad that it exists. You know what? Maybe someone can do like a more historically accurate remake of it. That'd be kind of cool.
And as I said, like, the people I know who have watched The Godfather of Harlem, they have nothing but good things to say about it.
Yeah.
I'm happy that something is being well made now about Bumpy. Like, that's a good thing.
For sure, man. And and honestly, like I said, I still really want to see a feature-length movie biopic about Madam Queen. Like, I legit want to see that, because, dude, how fucking cool would it be to get not just a female-led mobster movie, but a black female mobster movie that actually happened? Like, what a great little, history lesson that Hollywood could put up on the screen. That'd be fucking cool. So if anyone out there's listening, if any screenwriters listening, start researching, start writing, like, get on that shit. I want to watch that. Like, hell yeah. So
yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah, man. So any other final thoughts before we close this one out? I like this movie still. But yeah, it definitely has flaws, but I think it's definitely worth your time, and particularly if you're a fan of mob movies in general, I think there's plenty of here to love. So. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Like, again, because it might be in that C plus B minus B range, but hey, that doesn't demerit anything that is legitimately good in it. And as a matter of fact, I urge people. I actually like having people watch more of these kind of movies, to see that, okay, here's something really good with a really good base structure that isn't quite executed quite right, or doesn't quite flow as nicely, and then take those lessons and apply it to your movie with a similar base to make that better, because just about any movie is a teaching movie, whether it's a good lesson or a bad lesson. Yeah, it's true. So I'd urge a lot of people to watch this one a little bit more, just because, again, there's so much good that you can improve and make something truly masterful and spectacular, So that's probably what I'm taking away from it. But that'll be it for this week. Next week, we are finishing out Mob Month with a true classic that I literally could not resist doing. And I know we've done the Irish, we've done the Cubano Latino, we've done the Black Mafia. Now we are going to the classic Italian mafia with the greatest mob movie ever made, Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas. I still look, and I see that look on your face, Sean. Look, I submit The Godfather is a better film, but Goodfellas is a better mobster movie.
Oh man, like I don't know that I can make that distinction just because they're from two such different eras.
We're gonna have to argue about this a lot more
Yes,
come
we
the
are.
episode, aren't we? Well, I guess you'll have to catch us then. So in the meantime, I've been Tim,
I've been Sean.
and you'll never have to watch a movie alone again. Peace.